I'm in Coventry on a dark day for the Sky Blues. They're even wearing black because Mark Robins has been sacked.
Well, it's time to look at the sport, and Dan is in Coventry for us tonight. Dan, some dramatic news this morning after Coventry City's match last night.
Yes, that's right. We heard this morning that Mark Robins, the longest-serving manager in the Championship, has been sacked as Coventry manager after defeat to Derby last night. I have to say, it's been met with a big reaction from Coventry City fans today. The announcement this morning did say that the club had to make a difficult decision, and they called him one of Coventry City's greatest managers. Well, it comes after that defeat against Derby County last night. That was a 2-1 defeat. It was a bit of a flat atmosphere, but there had been a bit of a bounce in the last couple of weeks for Mark Robins, and you felt maybe that would take him through at least until the international break, but I'm afraid it hasn't. It ends his run. He took them from League 2 all the way up to being within a kick of the Premier League. Now, I have to say, Doug King has come in recent years, the owner, and he is wanting to bring in his own man, you would have thought. That's what most new owners want to do. And he is stuck by Mark Robins, and I think, to be honest, if it hadn't been for the history that he's had at this football club, you may well have seen him go last season, but he stuck with him and was rewarded with that run to the FA Cup semi-final, of course. But the start of the season hasn't been great. They've been making a lot of moves towards having a head coach system here at Coventry City rather than a manager in charge, as Mark Robins has been. And I wonder if that was just the way that things were moving and this was almost inevitable, but this has been met with some reaction today from supporters. A lot of them gathering here tonight for what is a celebration of Coventry City's past here at the Sky Blue Tavern. And, you know, I mean, this is a straw poll, there's around a dozen here, but who thinks this decision was the right one to sack Mark Robins? None of them. Absolutely none of them at the moment. And I'll just hop in here to get a little bit more of that. What did you make this morning when you heard the news?
Absolutely devastated. I had to read it twice, so someone taking Mickey and then read up again, and now devastated, absolutely.
Thank you very much for that. And what about yourself? You were incredibly upset, speaking to you a bit earlier on.
Yes, I'm absolutely gutted that Mark Robins has gone. I mean, he's been a wonderful manager, and I just couldn't believe it. And he's took us all the way from, like what you said, from Division 2 right up, nearly up to the Premier League, nearly. And I just think that it's the wrong decision.
Thank you very much for that. Well, it is a very big, bold decision from Doug King, but as you can see here, it's also one that brings a lot of emotion too.
Returning to the news of the sacking of Mark Robins, any idea when we'll find out who could replace him?
Well, this weekend the team will be led by Rhys Carr, one of the coaches here at Coventry City at Sunderland. That's going to be a strange game because I think a lot of the fans are going to be singing Mark Robins' name. There's then the international break when I think probably that will be the time when they get their appointment made. You look at some of the names on the list. Matt Bloomfield, current favourite at Wycombe. But I wonder if, you know, given this is Doug King's first appointment, he might go for a big name. On the list at the moment, Robbie Keane and Frank Lampard. That would be quite a story, wouldn't it?
Very much indeed. Dan in Coventry, thank you very much.
Frank Lampard seems to get linked to every job.